Welcome to Kidmissing TV. I'm your host, Angelina Wilson. This is the case of Tommy Eldon Bowman. Thomas went missing March 23, 1957 from Altadena, California. He was 8 years old. He was a white male, 4 feet tall, 50 pounds, with dark blonde hair, brown eyes. He was wearing a t-shirt with a blue plaid shirt, I guess, over it, brown shoes and jeans. And he was wearing a Davy Crockett belt buckle. All of this stuff sounds normal in 1957, including the button-down shirt over the t-shirt. My father wouldn't have dreamed of wearing a button-down shirt without a t-shirt underneath it. This little boy was the same age as my Uncle Richard. This little boy was born in January of 1949, and my uncle was born in May of that year. And ironically, the only one of the 3 boys that was blonde. He was last seen walking with his family on a trail in Arroyo Seco Canyon. He ran ahead to the family vehicle, and when his family members arrived at the vehicle, Tommy was not there. He is suspected to be a victim of Mac Ray Edwards, who on March 6, 1970, surrendered himself to the LAPD and confessed to molesting and murdering 6 children between 1953 and 1970. He was arrested, pled guilty to 3 of the killings, and was sentenced to death before committing suicide in his cell on death row in 1971. He claimed to have murdered 18 children. One of those children was most likely Tommy. In 2006, author Weston DeWalt got to interview the widow of Edwards and her family. During the interview, it was revealed that Edwards gave his wife a confessional letter that admitted that he had murdered Tommy. One key link that made this probable was that Edwards' employer, Kurse Construction, kept an equipment yard less than a half a mile from where Tommy was kidnapped at the Arroyo Seco. Edwards was convicted of the murders of Gary Roca, also seen in news articles with the last name Rochette, Donald Allen Todd, Stella Darlene Nolan, the remaining 3 confessed killings were Donald Lee Baker, whom we'll talk about later in the month, along with his cousin Brenda Jo Howell, Roger Dale Madison. He is also suspected in the disappearance of Bruce Kremen, Karen Lee Tompkins, Ramona Irene Price, and the murder of Dorothy Gale Brown. If you have any information, please call the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department at 323-526-5541, 323-526-5541, and please ask for Detective Vivian Flores, or Flores. I do want to go into more detail about Mac Ray Edwards in a serial offenders video. I just haven't done it yet. And these victims are still missing. Presumed victims are still missing. So I figured why not do them at the same time. And they were all from the 50s. So it worked for 50s February. I'm not sure about Tommy. Because first of all, they weren't that far from the vehicle when he ran ahead. So wouldn't they have heard him kicking and screaming if somebody grabbed him? I mean, yeah, they could put their hand around his mouth, but I just don't. I think he maybe turned the wrong place on the trail and died of exposure. But evidently, this man confessed. But we know confessed killers sometimes confess to things they didn't do. Henry Lee Lucas? Anyway, he confessed to every frickin' thing and didn't do any of it. Did he kill anyone? I'm not sure, quite honestly. Now, Matt Gray Edwards, he was convicted, so obviously there was enough evidence in at least a couple of cases to convict him. Excuse me. So, but we'll get into that when we get into him. So, thank you so much for joining me. God bless you, and let me know in the comments what you think. I will see you next time. Please subscribe. We're trying to get to 500 by Memorial Day and 200 on the other channel by St. Paddy's Day. And please check out the other channel in the links in the description, as well as all of my social medias for both channels, also linked. Bye, guys. God bless you, and have a wonderful rest of your day.